Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, can y'all hear me okay? I think you can hear me. I think you can hear me. I can't hear me. All right. I asked what this reading was going to be about, and what I heard is you are fucking unstoppable. You're unstoppable. Okay. Hey, Sheldon. Um, yes, unstoppable. So I take it there's a lot of stuff that's been trying to get in your way. I take it there's a lot of invitations to rise by way of adversity. You kind of just got to do what you got to do and keep going. Okay. Let's get started. I'm going to try and make this reading as fast and as in depth as possible because, yes, I'm really going to try. Okay, guys? So let's get started. Okay. There's stuff that's happening, and it's almost like this sense of you're very much gaslighting yourself into a space of thinking and believing that maybe you're imagining things, maybe you're just being super dramatic. I don't think you are. You're not imagining it. Whatever is going on, it's actually going on. You're actually witnessing something happening. Your speculation is rooted in you noticing details that maybe you're not willing to, or you're not able yet to properly quantify is the sense that I'm getting. So what do you need to do? Well, you need to ground yourself. You need to allow yourself to become very, very rooted. Allow your roots to go very deep, so that way you don't feel unstable during inclement weather. It's like you're not realizing the gravity of importance for roots. It's so important to allow your roots to become established. So, you've been quiet this whole time. You want to talk now. I don't want to share that. So, you are kind of being forced into a space where you're going to be seeing just how unwilling you've been to really fully commit, really fully dedicate yourself to the process that you're in. Dedication in reverse. You guys are going to see me doing weird things during a live stream. I'm trying. Okay? I'm trying. So, the lack of dedication. It's this sense that whatever you're going through right now is actually going to bring your awareness to what it is you're refusing to dedicate yourself to. And I mean, you can say whatever you want about no one can tell you what to dedicate yourself to. You're right. No one can tell you, but you're going to suffer the consequences on your own terms. That's what it is. Okay. You are going to be the only one that is forced to reap the benefits or lack thereof of your decisions. this period that you're in is showing you exactly where you need to double down on the dedication. I think for many of us, we don't know ourselves very well yet. Yet. That's the operative word. Yet. You are being put in a position, in a circumstance where you're being gifted the opportunity to begin choosing how deeply you want to know yourself. How deeply. Not going to work today, Michaela. How deeply do you want to know yourself? Because the thing that you're going through right now is the very thing that's reintroducing you to the parts of you that will make you unstoppable. It will make you absolutely unstoppable, right? The choice is yours. If you want to continue the same cycles of disempowerment, if you want to continue the same cycles of giving your power away only to become resentful, angry, if you want to continue ignoring the opportunities to realize what you're really angry about, that's a choice. And I tell you guys this every time this type of message comes up. These are choices. Okay. If you haven't been ready before, okay, that's a really strong thing. That's a very powerful thing to be able to acknowledge. I'm not ready. But you know what? You're never going to be ready. So I look at my life and it's like, I've had quite a few kids, quite a few. I have a lot of children, all of them natural birth, with the exception of the very oldest, all of them completely unmedicated. Now, I'm not trying to invalidate anyone else's birth story. I'm trying to share my own. Okay. I want to make that very clear. So, as part of my birth story, my very first labor and delivery was extremely traumatic. It was extremely traumatic, right? And with that, because of the type of trauma that I went through, um, gosh, like I refused to be medicated at all. And because that was so traumatic, every single time right before I gave birth to the next child, there was a lot of fear, a lot of sense of I'm I'm not sure if I'm ready. I don't know if I can do it. You have no choice. And that's a conversation I would have to have with myself every single time. You have no choice. You're going to do it. How? I don't know, but you're going to do it. That's your only option, is that you're going to do it. Right? And that's not a threat. That's just a declaration of reality. When you are bringing new life into this world, whether you're ready or not, you're going to. And the choice is yours. If you want to enter into a process with a defeatist attitude, where you've already defeated yourself before you even began, you make it that much harder. You know, for my very last child, and by then I was very willful, like, F you, I don't give a shit about your license. When it comes to medical people who don't listen to you, F you, I don't give a shit. I don't care how long you went to school. I don't care. You're not going to bully me. I don't care. So my final child, my water broke. I was in labor for a couple hours already. I was stuck at around 4 centimeters dilated. And, it's only a couple hours. I know you have at least 24 hours with ruptured membranes before you need to begin seriously considering the potentiality of infection. So the doctor is like, you're not progressing. We need to start you on Pitocin. No, Oh boy, I must have flicked him in a nutsack or something. He was so offended. I said, no. And I told him, I'm nowhere near 24 hours. My membranes ruptured only a few hours ago. He was mad. He goes, you're stuck. I said, strip my membranes. You know, when you strip the membranes, it irritates your cervix. It's not a pleasurable feeling at all. It's actually quite uncomfortable. But that will initiate labor like you would not believe. So he did as I requested. He stripped my membranes. And then he took off his gloves. And he took the bag of Pitocin and he slammed it on the table beside me. He goes, I'm the doctor. I'm giving you 1 hour. And then we're starting you on Pitocin. And I just looked at him like, I wish a motherfucker would. You see, the reason I was traumatized in the first delivery was because of Pitocin. And the reason I almost died, literal death, needing emergency surgery because I was lying in a pool of my own blood for my second child, was because of fucking Pitocin. I'd rather die than be given Pitocin. So he left the room. He was so mad at me. He was so mad at me, right? He left the room. I made these choices. He said I was endangering my child. No, the fuck I'm not. You might have an OBGYN license, but I was raised by a NICU mother. My mother's been pumping information about NICU stuff, neonatal intensive care unit, into my brain from infancy. I would go with her to her continuing education seminars as a young child. I'm not saying I'm a doctor level, but I am saying I know my body and fuck you. This is a choice I'm making. Needless to say, within 30 minutes, I went into full labor and the nurses couldn't find him. And you know what I said? Don't worry, girlfriend, we got this. Go between my legs and catch my baby. And they're like, don't push, mommy, don't push. I'm pushing. I don't give a fuck. Let's do it before he gets back. They were scrambling and they were begging my husband to beg me not to push. No. If need be, Daddy, you go between my legs, you catch the baby. Don't drop the baby. Don't drop the baby. I went ahead and I gave birth. He barely made it in the room. Oh, that fucker. He barely made it in the room. Barely. That was a choice. I could have allowed myself to succumb to the bullying, to the fear tactics, to all of that. But I didn't. I didn't. That was a choice. You have to make your knowing what each choice, what risk each choice carries with it. Now, am I saying that I would have refused medical treatment had I known my baby was already in distress? Absolutely not. Birth plans never go to plan. They never do. They never go to plan. But you will not take my ability to choose for myself away from me. I require informed medical consent. I will not consent to anything unless I am informed of all of the risks and benefits. You see, they never told me that administering Pitocin to me, and this is my personal experience, that it would increase my risks of needing medical intervention, emergency medical intervention for me and my child. They never told me that. But just because someone never told me doesn't mean the information can forever be withheld from me. Oh, because you best believe. After the first two, I started reading a lot. A lot. When you go through the things that you go through, you need to allow yourself to be very, very honest with yourself about what it is you went through. What are some of the things you didn't know? What were the options that were not presented to you? Soul will not present you all of the options. Why? Because it wants you to learn on your own terms, based on your own decisions. Soul wants you to be in control. You see, we keep giving our power away. We keep allowing other people to dictate to us exactly what we should do, how we should do it, when we should do it. No, no. You have to begin thinking for yourself. You have to allow yourself to lose the fear of not having any guardians, people who you can give your power to so they can dictate to you whether you should or shouldn't do something. Why are you afraid? Why are you afraid of being completely in control of your life? Why? It's scary, yes. Oftentimes, the most powerful processes are very scary. Very, very scary. I found the scarier a process is for me personally, the more profound the learning and the growth after I get through whatever I'm going through, right? It's a lot. A lot of people are going through a lot. And because you're going through a lot, it's like you're forgetting to keep in mind you've been through similar things before. You've been through very similar things before. What are you going to do about it? Be like, oh, not again. You can do that if you want. That's up to you. You could absolutely do that if you want. Will that benefit you? I think that's a very powerful question to ask. Is it beneficial to have that mindset? Because people don't take into consideration the benefits, the cons of it. You know, they just want to do what they want to do, which is fine. You're absolutely entitled to do whatever it is you want to do, because you're the only one that's going to continue to be affected by the consequences of what you choose. So obviously I'm sick. I don't know if you could tell, but I am. Like deathly sick. It's the same thing that I had last April. A sickness so severe that I developed lines of demarcation on my fingernails, all of them. They're fine. Remember, I lost my voice for like a month and a half, and I still kept pushing and trying to go live and trying to this, trying to that, right? And that was a very serious opportunity to learn. Learn what? Learn all of the ways, all of the different ways where my self-love is primarily intellectualized. It's not truly applied. Let that sink in. All of this healing that you think you're doing. Are you truly healing, or are you merely healing the intellectual components? Are you merely adjusting the way you see and process rather than actually healing what's wrong? So a way to frame this, an analogy. You have a herniated disc in your low back. That's a very bad injury. You have a herniated disc in your low back. And one of the ways you can heal that intellectually is by learning as much as you can about proper body mechanics, the different physical therapy techniques to rehabilitate your back, but you never actually do any of them. You never apply the learning. So, how does that help you? Well, I know what to do. Right. Right. Good. I'm glad you know what to do. Have you done what you need to do? Not yet. Oh, okay. So, how is that helping you? Is it helping you? It's not. It's not helping you at all. When you allow yourself to recognize the ways in which you only go so far to actually apply what you've learned to truly heal. You then begin to realize, I'm sorry for coughing in your ears. You then begin to realize the ways in which you're only partially loving yourself still. So last April, when everyone got sick, I put my own needs kind of on the back burner, which is what moms do. Well, my type of mom. Yeah, that's what we do. And I ended up getting super sick, but everyone got well after maybe a week, right? But I stayed super sick. And it was an extremely difficult process for me. Extremely difficult. I learned so much. I understood to a much deeper degree the value of my voice because I've never actually valued it. I mean, the gravity of that. Never having any appreciation for the fact that I can verbally communicate. That's what my job is. This is how I help people. This is how I make my needs known. And I ignored it. Not being able to talk for 8 weeks almost. And I'm a public speaker. Yikes. Yikes. That's not good. That's definitely not good. Realizing the ways in which I never address my own needs. I only address it to the degree that I can remain functional. That laid me out. That laid me out. I should have went to the ER, but I didn't. Why? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I guess it had to be that bad so that I could learn this much. It had to be that bad so I could learn this much. And maybe that's the explanation as to why you go through the things you go through. Because you need to learn it on a much deeper level than the average person. And in order to reach that depth of learning, sometimes it has to be that bad. And so you go through what you go through. And if you go through what you go through already, you might as well learn what you learn and then apply what you learn. So if you go through it again, it won't be the same exact experience. So digressing back to the reason I brought that up, I'm sick with the same thing again. I still have my voice. My lungs are intact. I'm probably going to be laid out the rest of the day sitting up this long. That's okay. You're witnessing firsthand the way I learned and the way I'm applying what I've learned. You are witnessing firsthand the process of me diving deeper into actually loving myself. When was the last time you took inventory? You did an accounting of the ways in which you love yourself and how deeply you're willing to go into those. When was the last time? Have you ever? Are you aware the ways in which you love yourself right now is still only superficial? That's not to mean you are a superficial person and therefore less than. That's to mean there's a depth to you that you do not yet know. So get to know it. It's scary, right? Because you don't know what's there. Exactly. You have no idea of the gravity of you yet, but you will. If you're willing to learn it now, with the gravity of what you've experienced being what it is, beautiful. Learn it, apply it. If you're needing to go through more to learn what you need to learn, buckle up. Things are about to get real rough, real fast. Buckle up. This is a very challenging period. It's a very beautiful period. The intensity of the adversity and the challenge is always directly tied to the intensity and the gravity of the blessings you will reap after you are done. Right? So sometimes I have to remind myself what the fuck I actually do for work. It's easy to forget. Uh, it's so easy to forget. I don't know why. So clearly I've forgotten the gravity of what I do for work for others, right? Well, I had a really good reminder. Really good reminder. I had a situation with one of my children recently that required me to rush him to the ER, right? I knew exactly what I was going to ask for, what was necessary, the probability, the risks, the potentialities of various conditions. Get to the ER, explain exactly what the situation is, the history, the request for the prescription, no need for diagnostics, this and that, and got all of that. They administered my requested treatment, observed us for a little bit, saw the quickness of the response, and free to go. They at first looked at me like, you're fucking crazy. You're being irresponsible. They did as I requested. They observed, came back with a different attitude. Like, obviously, mommy knows her shit. Mommy knows her kid. Yes, mommy does. And I felt good about that. He felt good. I felt good. We're good. And then a day or two later, shit, another one of my kids needs to go to the ER. I assess. This is beyond the scope of what I can help with. I gave very detailed information. This, and this. This is probably what you're going to need. Go ahead and get tested for whatever needs to be tested. Do all the diagnostics. Do everything that needs to be done because this is beyond the scope of what I can help with. They go. Doctors confirm everything that I've just said. Like I say, sometimes it's so fucking easy to forget the gravity of you. It's so easy to forget. It's so easy to diminish because it's your normal. It's your norm. So it's not a big deal to you. At which point I knew I needed reassurance myself. Like, I don't know what to do. What if, because I'm off right now. I'm very off. I'm really like, it's hard to breathe. I can't think straight. I'm foggy all day. Wow, what if I'm missing something? So I was like, go to the ER, test for everything, make sure everything is fine. Came back with all of my assessments completely confirmed. And all I needed was that little bit of like, you're not wrong. You're not inaccurate. Mm-hmm. And then so what happened? I went into full mommy mode. We're going to be prepping you like you are going to be cooked, my kid. I'm going to be slathering your ass in all sorts of different herbs and spices and all kind of shit. Yeah. Yeah. Complete turnaround. Complete turnaround. You see, we forget the gravity of how powerful we actually are when we allow ourselves to tap into that power. It's like, how could I have forgotten? And you know what's funny is this. Soul had already been giving me some instructions, right? For weeks, a couple weeks already. For some reason, went to the grocery store and they had knack on clearance. I was like, oh, I've never tried that before. Oh, shit. My fucking sternum. You're cute, girl. You're cute. Just, it's cute. It's cute. My ribs are cute. Don't laugh. It's cute. So NAC was on clearance. NAC was on clearance. And so I bought a shit ton of it. I bought bottles and bottles. My husband's like, what are you doing? It's on clearance. He's like, I know, but what is it for? Don't worry about it. I think it's just good to have on hand. Right? And then for some reason, I added this other supplement to our family's daily supplements. Like, I don't know why. We need a cleanser. We need to be cleansed. And so everyone had been taking it for weeks. And then I think the week before we were exposed, I got really caught up with different work things. Fucking demonic shit. I'm sick of fucking demons. I'm telling you, I'm fucking sick of their asses. Yeah, no, I got caught up with a lot of like demonic work shit that I had to fix. And so I stopped giving everyone the supplements. I was like, we'll take a break. And then it lined up perfectly with being exposed. And then everyone got fucked up. But that's the thing, though. Soul gives you indications of what you need. It just does. It gives you everything you need. It's up to you if you're going to listen. And wouldn't you know, I ordered a shit ton of other medical supplies. Yo, I'm telling you, I believe I am qualified to run a triage first aid center. I feel like I could. I have the supplies and everything. I had ordered a shit ton of medical supplies. And wouldn't you know, all of that stuff starts arriving the moment we need it. Soul gives you instructions on how to be unstoppable, but it's up to you if you're going to listen. So this time around, I'm not going to fuck around and find out. I'm going to take everything I need to take. I need to do everything I need to do. I'm not going to lose my voice. I'm not going to be laid out for 2 months. I'm not going to succumb to anything because fuck that shit. I already did it last April. I'm not doing it again. This is not going to be like, no, I refuse. I refuse. I refuse. You have to allow yourself to step into a space of mental strength. Even if your body is weak, mental strength. Prime example of mental strength. So I had to take all my other kids to urgent care, right? And then, of course, I told my husband to stay home because, well, we already took the other one to the ER. Stay home with that one. Stay home with that one. I'll bring the others. So we go to urgent care, and it was stuffy in there. And one of my kids, who's my size, he starts looking like he's going to pass out. And so I picked him up and I carried him to a bench to have him lay down to kind of restabilize. And you'd think that urgent care would be like, oh my gosh, mommy, are you okay? Do we need to call the ambulance? Not a single fucking peep. And I'm like, you know what? We already waited so long. We are not leaving. We are going all the way through. And I had to carry his ass. I was carrying my size. Wrapped his legs, carry him like this, like a baby. And yeah. Because there was no way I was going to let my child pass out. There was no way I was going to make him walk when he could barely sit. And there was no way I was going to endanger him any further. So I carried him. My size. His foot's bigger than mine. So I basically was carrying myself with compromised lungs. It was hard to breathe. But I'm doing it. Why? Because that's my duty as his mother. I'm not talking about other mothers. I'm talking about me and my perception of my duty as his mother. I will do what I need to do to protect my child, to advocate for my child, all of that. Fuck HIPAA. They closed the door and no, open that fucking door. And he looked at me like HIPAA. Fuck HIPAA. I don't give a shit. They can hear what his vitals are. I don't care. You're not compromising the airflow any further, right? There's something very powerful that happens when all you have your focus on is about what is necessary in this moment. I don't care what happens later. We will deal with that when we need to deal with that. And in my mind is running this thing, what if he actually passes out? I'm going to start fucking screaming, call 911 immediately. And this is going to be on your fucking office. Because they should have provided some type of medical assistance to begin with. They should have asked me from the go, does he need medical transport to the hospital? These motherfuckers. Yes. I'm dealing with everything one moment at a time. And maybe that's how you need to approach life. And yeah, all my kids that were with me were like, each one was taking turns starting to freak out. Like, just breathe. Deep and slow. We are almost done. Keep telling yourself that. We are almost done. We are next. They're just taking your vitals. They're going to this. They're going to that. We're almost done. Breathe. Focus only on the thought of we are almost done. And we got through it. We got through it. I told my oldest, baby, if you need to be carried, I'm gonna have to drag you. I can't pick you up. I can deadlift you to the car, but I can't carry you. Not like that. I will drag you though. I'll drag you. And he didn't think it was funny. I did. I thought it was funny. I had to find humor in something. And that's what made it bearable. I could have just sat there and been crying like, my husband should be here. No, he need to make sure the one that went to the ER is okay. I can handle this. I can handle this. And it was handled. That is how you need to approach every single circumstance in your life. Yeah. That stressed the fuck out of my body, and I eventually got real fucking sick because of it. That was a choice that was made. And why did I do that? Was it self-sacrifice? It was a calculated risk that paid off. My children all got everything they needed, and I had everything I needed at home. That was a calculated risk that I took, and it paid off. Paid off in the way that I calculated it would. Right? That is how you approach life, and that is how you become unstoppable. I tell you, you provide me a challenge, I will find a way around it. You give me enough time, and it doesn't take much time. I will find a way around it. Absolutely. The pharmacy said they didn't have the prescriptions that were necessary. I told my husband, you tell them it's urgent. And they said, there's nothing for a 50-mile radius for their branch, for their store, or is that in this region? For their store. I'm calling all the other pharmacies. Worst case scenario, you need to go to the ER pharmacy, the hospital pharmacy. They got all that shit there. But we're getting today. And guess what? We had all those meds the same day. And it's not because I feel entitled. It's because I am willing to find and exploit every single potentiality that needs to be explored in order to be successful with a mission objective. That makes you unstoppable. No here? All right. What other direction do I need to turn? And I will keep turning and turning and turning until I get a yes. I'm not willing to do that for everything, though. That's exhausting. I am more than willing to do that for the things that are very important. So know when you need to do that, when you need to expend as much energy as you possibly can, and when you're just wasting energy. This is very, very important. There will be things that will be happening in the next few weeks that will cause you to feel as though expenditure of energy is necessary and appropriate. Is it? Is it? Not everything is worth my time and energy in that way. No, sir. What if I offend people? They can be fucking offended. Well, what if people this and that? They can be whatever they're going to be. Because you know what? That was never in my control to begin with. That was never within my realm of control to begin with. Right? So, like I said, when we went to the ER, the doc that came to see the first kid that went to the ER, he didn't like my request. Well, here's the thing. I know who we were exposed to. They had all the tests. Not a damn positive. That means there's not going to be a positive here. Plus, I'm not going to traumatize my kid more. Yep. Sometimes we need to understand that the decisions we make out of fear make it much worse. If I traumatize my kid with all of that diagnostic, and I already know who he was exposed to, and that they didn't have any of those, that's going to increase his cortisol levels, which will further degrade his respiratory health. No. I know my child very well. I know his body very well. We've been to the ER so many times. I know my child so well that when he was a toddler, we were in the ER so much, and his health was so delicate. that the doctors allowed me to administer the intramuscular injections of prednisone. You're not going to fuck with my kid. You're not going to further compromise his health. I would not take unnecessary risks with his health. Just like unnecessary diagnostics. Because even if he does get a positive, those are viral. It's not going to do shit. You're still going to have to do supportive care. When you understand what it is you're dealing with, you can make very powerful, informed decisions. And that's why a lot of the information is kept from you. That's why a lot of the things you go through, they don't tell you everything. I learned when he was a baby. I learned real well. Why are you doing that? How does that affect the treatment plan? Will that cause any adjustments? No? Well, why do you want to do that then? Well, to confirm. To confirm what? We already have a treatment plan that seems viable to me. Well, right. You're not going to be playing with my kid. Because too many did not listen to me. Too many caused more problems. Learn everything you need to learn about what it is you're going through. Everything you need to learn. There's a lot of attempts to destabilize you. Whatever these attempts are, when you experience periods of destabilization, that gives you the opportunity to recognize what parts of you need to be restabilized, what parts of you need to be strengthened, right? So we make an analogy with exercise. I haven't been to the gym in like a week, and my husband was making fun of me because he sees me just laying there watching workout videos because I can't work out. That's okay. My brain is working out. If you look at the way workouts function, if you have an imbalance, I know he was laughing at me, sexy Jesus. If you have instability in a joint, you have to figure out which muscle is tight. Once you figure out which muscle is tight, you'll know which muscle is weak. It's not the tight one. The tight one is protecting the joint because of the weak one. You can find out which one is weak. You can then begin strengthening that, and you can restabilize the entire chain. Did you know that bunions, and this is my personal opinion, okay? Bunions can be completely resolved without surgery. It takes exercise. Bunions are due to a fallen arch. Fallen arch is due to weak calf muscle. All you got to do is strengthen your soleus, your tibialis, your VMO above your knee. It will restabilize all of that. I had a bunion developing in my left foot. My arch fell. I injured myself, and so it affected. So I know. I tore a ligament on my left calf. I pushed myself a little too hard. I tore the ligament, and that I had to ease up, and then it caused my left arch to fall in proper form when I was deadlifting. And so I began to develop a bunion, which then was starting with like an ingrown toenail type pain on that same toe. And I'm like, ew. And so what did I do? I read a lot. I read about train chains, posterior chains, all of the chains. I read about fascia. I read about everything. And then I was like, oh, let me look at my calves. It's the calves and the tibialis. And I just did all of that. Very light. 5 pounds. That's it. 5 pounds. I now have an arch and my bunion's gone. I think one of these days, you guys might hear me offering person training sessions so you can fix your body. Because aren't you done feeling sick? Your body not working right? Being offered nothing but surgery? I'm living proof that surgery is not always the only option. I'm literally living proof with medical documentation. Double total knee replacement at 26 years old? Fuck no. Said I wouldn't be able to walk by the end of the year. Boo, I more than walk. I like press over 500 pounds. Yeah. Yeah. They said that I needed to fuse my vertebrae. No, fuck that. I hip thrust. I think I stopped at like 400 something. Mhm. Yeah. You just got to know how to work your body. There's nothing you can't overcome. Literally. There's nothing you cannot overcome. Oh, but no, I mean, I'm sure that works for the physical body, but I mean, I had this and that. And okay, well, I have a lot of shit. They diagnose you with these conditions that can be corrected, but because of the diagnosis, you adhere to that. You make it your identity and you use it as a crutch to keep you in that space. You went through a hardship that caused a depressive episode, and then you went and got diagnosed as depressed. And so now you identify as depressed and you stay there. Okay, that's a choice. Be it a choice that's made because you think that you are broken. You've been convinced by someone else, but you're not. You can overcome that. It takes work. It takes a lot of dedication to yourself. But it can be done. It can be done. All of these things that we think we're stuck with, you're not. You're not. I'm literally living proof of being able to reverse pretty much everything. And if you think, well, oh, those are just little conditions. Okay, well, my brother, he reversed end-stage heart failure. He was being prepared for LVAD surgery. That's the last-ditch effort to keep you alive long enough for a heart transplant. He was dying. No, he's not just alive. I spoke to him the other week. I'm such a fucked up sister. I spoke to him the other week. He was feeling some type of way because the cardiac specialist team that he had for this whole thing, they're like, we have to release you as a patient. They're like, your heart is fine, everything is fine. Like we can't keep you as a patient anymore. And he called me and he told me, and I was like, ooh, they broke up with your ass. And he's like, they did, huh? I said, mm-hmm. And they did that whole thing of like, it's not you, it's me. He goes, they did, huh? I was like, yep. They broke up with your ass. They dumped you. He was so butthurt. I don't know. I thought it was funny. Yeah, he was so butthurt. And I was like, they dumped your ass. You're not sick anymore. So they dumped your ass. They broke up with you. But it's hard. It's hard when that becomes your identity for so long. Such a huge part of you. And he's like, but I just want the comfort of knowing that I'm like, you're fine. You're fine. He's like, you don't understand. I'm like, I'm just kidding. No, they said they'll still, like, if you need any type of referrals and stuff, they'll still. But yeah, that's a serious thing. And if you guys don't know, if you're not medically inclined in any way, shape, or form, you don't reverse heart failure. You mitigate it. You can't reverse heart failure. Once the heart is damaged, that's done. He was at 7% ejection fraction rate. That's how much blood his heart was able to pump through his body. 7%. It's pretty low. It's pretty low. Yeah. It's fine now. Heart completely normal. Like completely normal. Your body is merely a roadmap, a notification center of what it is you're going through. Start listening. Start listening. Start paying attention. Learn from it. Apply what needs to be applied. Do what needs to be done. And then you become very much unstoppable. Very much unstoppable. You are protected as you go through this process. This is nothing but a process, you guys. It's a process. It is not the end all be all. And if you feel like life is trying to destroy you, well, maybe it is. Oh, that was harsh. I don't care. Do you need to hear it harsh sometimes? Maybe it is trying to destroy you. Oh my God, Emmy. That deep breath made me dizzy. Hold on. What if life is trying to destroy the parts of you that keep resisting your growth and your healing? What if that's what's being destroyed and you're fighting so vehemently, fighting so passionately to hold on to the very thing that's been poisoning you? Because you think that's who you are? I'm pretty sure that's not who you are. I am pretty sure you have yet to gain enough of an idea of who you actually are. I think you're in the process of learning who you are. By spring, your journey is going to reach a point where it's undeniable how much you've grown. It's undeniable whether people are supposed to be in your life or not. Sexy Jesus, can I share the video? Can I share can I share about I'm gonna die. Oh, oh my chest. So I have sent Sexy Jesus a video on social media about BFFs not answering the phone. And it was funny. And then I messaged and said, "You've had my number for how long now? And not once have you ever called or texted me. That's how I know we soul kin." That's how I know we BFFs. Oh, my chest. Oh, fuck, I'm dizzy. And he goes, it's not true. He says, not true. That he's reached out. And he has proof. And I'm like, show me. So he sends me this video. It's a screen recording. He had been messaging somebody. And the number is saved as Emmy. Except it wasn't me. I don't know who you've been messaging, but it wasn't me. Oh my God. Who are you messaging? Oh my God. Oh man. He's going back and forth. Oh. And the whole time it was not me. And the person's like, my name is not Emmy. Oh, oh God. Oh my. Oh. Oh. That's not the number I gave you. I don't know what number you're messaging. Oh Lord. That's okay. You can still be my friend. We just stick to social media. So, whatever the situation, there's going to be something that makes you feel very like disrespected, right? There's gonna, okay, hold on. I'll share the screen recording. You gotta send me the audio that you sent them because I'm just like, you even sent them an audio message. He straight said, I got proof. Wait. Here. Let me download it. Oh my God. My face is numb. Here. Shit is hilarious. I was cracking up so hard.
Amy Nicolina, what do you mean you don't think I have the right number? Do you know who VB is? It's the village baby. How do you forget that you gave me your number? Like, what?
Y'all. Okay, so it's a whole video. Hold on. He's like messaging and messaging this person.
Amy Nicolina, what do you mean you don't think I have the right number? Do you know who VB is? It's the village baby. How do you forget that you gave me your number? Like, what?
Oh, shit. Holy shit. Oh my God. Let me play it again. I didn't know it had audio. Hold on.
Amy Nicolina, what do you mean you don't think I have the right number? Do you know who VB is? It's the village baby. How do you forget that you gave me your number? Like, what?
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Oh my God. Oh, 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 man. Oh, shit. Ah, ah, oh my God. Oh, and what was that list of cookies at the beginning? Oh, ah, oh my God. And he's like, how do you? And see, here's the thing. He never told me, like, hey, you gave me the wrong number. What's your actual number? Oh, Lord. Oh, my Lord. Yeah. Is that what I said? No, no. It is what it is, dude. It is what it is. I was cracking up so hardcore. See, y'all need people like this in your life to give you a reason to laugh. Oh, you did? I don't know. I don't know. You know, I only see every like 6th or 7th message. Okay. Unstoppable. Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, I can't read anymore. I'm fucking dizzy. I'm dizzy and I'm overheating and okay. This is how I've been looking all week, you guys. Okay. One final card. One final. One final card. All right. One last. Okay. All right. The courage of your love. Love is without reason. Rationality is like a cane. Judgment needs a cane because it's blind. When love arrives, thought dies in its shadow. Love is a sunrise, while thought is only a flashing light. I do not bleat at you like a sheep for to startle you from your slumber. I need to roar like a lion. You must awake, my beloved. There is no time to waste, for the wolves are circling, hungry for sacred flesh. So I shall roar mightily, and although at first you recoil in fear, soon enough you will see the wolves. You will become aware and grateful to have been thus awoken. Yes, you remember that you have a precious human life to protect. You fear me no more. You thank me. You jump on my back as if you were a warrior astride a wild mount. You roar then along with me, awakening the others as we cause the ground to rumble, disturbing those even in their deepest slumber. You, like me, are a fierce lion, not a lamb to be led to so many slaughters, the variety of and opportunity for which is available in terrible abundance in our world. There is a Sufi story about a mother with her breast leaking milk. She loses her child, and once she finds him again, instantly lets him suckle for as long as he needs. A Sufi master nearby says to his students, "Do you think she would throw her baby into the fire?" And the students all say, "No, of course not." And the master replies, "Allah loves his children more than she, with enough tenderness to throw them into the fire." So it is with love. At first, as a young heart, you only want comfort for your beloved. You cannot bear the thought of pain within them, even for a moment. Your own suffering is easier than bearing the suffering of your beloved. The young heart grows wise through experience. It becomes an elder, an ancient heart tempered by grace and rendered strong with compassion. This is the great heart that can hold the suffering of the world within it, and yet still find space for peace, for sweetness, for tenderness, and for rapture. This is the heart that shines with courageous love. It is willing to feel and bear all suffering without judgment, while gently holding it in the truth of what that suffering really is. The drying out of the mind addicted to suffering. This drying out is necessary so that love can ignite itself and transform dead wood into living fire. The drying out is a challenging and enduring process. The path of freeing the heart from the effects of a fearful mind is an initiation. And so many lapses will happen before the heart grows strong enough to overpower old patterns and surrender without condition or equivocation. When it's ready to surrender in such a way, the heart is free and allowed to simply be. Even the mind then, finally freed from shackles and joyfully submitting to love, declares, "Let love be in whatever way it shall be. I can bear it. I shall take refuge in it. I shall not turn away from it. I am that love." You are an ancient one with a heart older than the mountains. You're being asked to free yourself from the too small loves of youthful heart and come to understand and accept the wisdom of your mature heart. Your mature heart is not cursed with hardness or detachment, but with compassion and tenacious devotion to the cause that is most real and matters the most, the quest for life of the human soul. Your ancient heart loves the soul and will roar like the lion of love at the wolves that would casually devour it. So trust in the courage of your heart. You are not cruel. You are not hard. You are not careless. You are passion personified. You are the lion of love, so allow yourself to be the lion, not the lamb. Stand true in your own heart. Cause trouble, make noise, be proud and be mighty. Then rest. After all that savage divinity, rest and restore, for day after day you shall claim your holy lands and refuse to give them up to less noble creatures. Though you survey their manipulations and attempts to claim power with compassion, you do not underestimate them or relax your vigilance. You shall not allow for even a moment that falsehood falsehood be accepted as truth in your heart. This oracle comes with particular guidance for you. You are not to give in to less than you are worth, or to the shaming stories of others of our culture that would cast your regal lion nature into the falsehood of beliefs that you have no choice or power. You are not to give in to the idea that you are the victim and cannot free yourself from your suffering, or that you are less than any other. These are lies. These are petty deceptions so unworthy of you. Do not believe them. Roar at them until the weak glue holding them together melts under the fire of your holy breath, and they lie dismembered and powerless at your feet. Then intend that those bits and pieces in decay are lovingly returned to the earth mother, through whom they can be used to fertilize new life. This oracle comes with another message for you. You have a challenge before you, or that you are now moving through. But you have what is necessary to succeed and overcome it. No matter how long it's endured or how big you've built the challenge up to be in your mind, no matter how unsolvable the issue appears to be, there is and shall be a victory beyond it, and it is imminent. This oracle has come to you to let you know you are empowered to succeed. You have what is required within to do it, and that the time for your victory is drawing near. So do not give up. Instead, do a sacred honoring ritual as needed. And when you feel so inclined, open your mouth and roar love from the very depths of your being. Create a sound of truth for yourself. In that sound, you will hear the mightiest one of all roaring along with you, saying, "Yes, love, I am with you. And together we claim divine victory." So we roar. How we roar. So give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Ooh. Join me when I'm live. I'll see you guys again very soon. We have the 12/12 portal coming up, and the energies are already super intense. I'm feeling a lot of energy shifting in. My whole face is numb. I can't feel my whole face. It'll be okay. We'll get through this. I will be doing a live stream for the 12/12 portal. I don't know if I'll be doing a fire ceremony because I'm gonna fucking die if I do. my lungs. But yeah, I hope you're able to join me for that. I'll try and come live again as my health allows. And I'll see you guys again very soon. Bye, everyone.